buys a car before you buy a house? That is counterproductive because the bank says don't take on any debt when you're trying to acquire a house. So get rid of debt. I took on a $13,000 debt right before I was trying to buy a house. But I heard God say something. God said a house and a car this year. House and a car this year. I think I told my wife, really, I didn't say, come to and say, God said this. I came to my wife and I said, I feel like this is our year to get a house and a car. Just feel like it. At that time, I didn't really understand prophetic words. I didn't understand vision. All I felt was in me, I feel like this is the year that we're going to get a house and a car. And I started talking it to people. People started telling me, don't you do it that way. But God has brought me the car opportunity before he's brought me the house. Don't do it that way. But God has brought me the car before he brought me the house. But I see something, so I'm going to step into the process. I bought the car, right? And then I started saving for the house. And then the realtor kind of asked us, so what kind of debt do you have? Well, we just bought a car. She just kind of looked cockeyed at me a little bit. You know, and everything that we was experiencing what played to the idea that you should not do things an unconventional way. But if I see what God says, it doesn't matter what the conventional way is. All that matters is that he said to go forward. So this peculiar instruction that he gave Joshua was very different than the normal fighting pattern. And I know we've talked about that before, but just the idea is that we have to trust the process that God has for me, because the process is as much about your moving in as it is the enemy's moving out. The part that we don't understand about processes is that people shift, things shift. God prepares me to take over what the enemy has tried to block in my life. And sometimes things have to play out in my life so that I can step into what God has for me. I have to remember that there's always an enemy that will try to stop me from having what God says that I'm supposed to have. So the process in my life, if I see it correctly, then I'm not stressing so much when things start to happen. I'm not stressing so much when things go left, because I have to realize God is shifting pieces. God is moving things around in my life. And many of us, when God starts to show us some things, that's when we fall to pieces, because the process sometimes is too much for me to handle. It's too much for me to really deal with.